we're checking out the Adidas Athletic Stretch Cotton Trunk in this in-studio review. Hey, welcome back, underwear wearers. This is Underwear to Wear, a practical guide designed to make you a more confident and savvy buyer and wearer of underwear. Today, we're tackling another in-studio review. Here we're taking a gander at the Adidas Athletic Stretch Cotton Trunk. We're going to rate this on 4 categories and based on a scale of 1 to 3. 1 being the least effective in that category, 3 being the most effective. But before we do that, let's take a look at the stats. Brand, Adidas, says it right here, and I just told you. The name of the underwear is the Athletic Stretch Cotton Trunk. Now, in the name, you're getting 2 valuable pieces of information. You're getting the style, which is the trunk. Of course, trunks, a little bit shorter inseam than your average boxer brief, breaking at 3 inches right there. And you also have the material, stretch cotton. Now, when you hear something like stretch cotton, you want to think it is a blend. Okay, so this pair is 90% cotton, 10% spandex. Anytime they're mixing cotton with any kind of synthetic blend, the idea is to give it a little bit more sweat wicking ability, maybe a little bit more elasticity. All right, let's jump into the review. Category number 1, we have sweat and breathability. I gave this a 2 out of 3 undies for sweat and breathability. Why is that? All right, no fly, which is going to cut down on how much airflow there is in my investment area. There are also no mesh or no holes in my investment package area, as we've seen in previous underwear that we've reviewed. So a little bit less air movement going through. The other reason for a number 2 on breathability and sweating is that I tend to be a little bit hairier than the average bear and a little bit sweatier than the average bear. So the cotton doesn't do a good enough job for me of wicking away that sweat and getting itself dry throughout the day. So this stayed a little bit too moist for my taste and kept me a little bit hotter and sweatier than I would prefer. 2 out of 3 in sweat and breathability. Category number 2 is the fabric. Again, I gave this a middle of the road, a 2 out of 3 undies. Wasn't rough and uncomfortable, but also didn't feel like my birthday suit, you know? This is a number 2 because it is very comfortable. The fabric, the weave, the bands, and the overall build of this pair of underwear is actually quite comfortable and quite pleasing on the skin. So I gave it a 2 out of 3. Category number 3 is the ease of use. Again, I've told you before, I love the fly. One hand band action, get in there, get out, wrap it up, and move on. Now, I gave this a 2 instead of a 1 in ease of use because of this band right here. When you're using the restroom, I use it usually with one hand. I don't like to undo my pants, so I just get into my fly and pull this down. Now, as you'll see, look at that. Look at how that bounces back. Now, I know this is a mannequin. Your thighs are going to hold it here, so when you pull it down in the front, these are going to hold snug, and this is going to let it ride back up, which I kind of found very useful. That's something that doesn't always happen with a pair of underwear that doesn't have an opening. Sometimes this band doesn't do a great job of riding up and hangs down here the entire time, bunching up in your entire investment area and creating a lot of discomfort throughout the day, all right? So that's a 2 out of 3 on ease of use. Category number 4, we're looking at fit and the INGs. The INGs being bunching, tugging, riding, sagging. Fit, pretty good. Pretty good. Based on what the manufacturer suggests, it's pretty close to what you normally wear for your average pant waist size. As far as the INGs, I personally didn't experience any riding, sagging, or tugging, but I did experience a bit of bunching. Now, reason for that, I think, is because, again, my thighs are a little bit thicker than normal. So down here where this underwear breaks, my thighs tend to touch a little bit. That touching is creating a little bit of friction. That friction is making it so that this underwear rides up a bit. Overall score for these guys right here was an 8 out of 12 underwear. And for you statisticians out there, we're looking at 67% approval rating based on my opinion. I'm giving these guys a thumbs up in terms of comfort. Like I said, very enjoyable to feel on your skin. It's not a bad pair to have in your wardrobe, especially if you particularly like trunks or you want to give them a shot. I gave them a thumbs down as far as sweating and bunching for the reasons I explained to you before. Now let's take a look at this pair of underwear up close and personal. A lot of times when you buy underwear, they come up in a pack, nicely rolled, just like this. Imagine if you went to buy a car and they showed you a mirror and asked you if you'd like to buy it. Wouldn't you ask, can I see the seats? Can I see how the door opens? Can I turn it on and hear the radio? We don't do that with underwear. We just kind of buy it sight unseen. So why don't we see it? Here's the front of the band, all right? Here's the front of the band. You can see that the stitching is pretty flat. This pair of underwear is about 5 months old. Good amount of use, good amount of wear, good amount of washes, so it's holding up pretty well. Here's the interior of that band. As you can see, the stitching is pretty flat. The band itself the elastic works very well. The only issue I might see with this is this rib right here, which isn't always normal in a band. It does have a rib here and on the exterior. Either one of those might bother somebody who likes to wear their pants or underwear tight. The belt might press against this. This might push into your skin, so that might create a little bit of an issue for you. Here is the tagless tag. Of course, it's much easier, much more comfortable on your skin than having a tag. We have the mesh pouch, which you can see right there. I'm going to stretch it out a little bit. Yep, there you can see, right? It's got little holes in it right there. So that's going to give you a little bit of breathability inside your underwear in your investment package area. And also this piece of fabric here gives you a little bit extra support. Guys, we have taken a look at the Adidas Athletic Stretch Cotton Trunk. All right, we've rated it. If you have these pair and you've been using them, please comment down below. Rate it based on our rubric, or tell us some of your own points that you have come across while you're wearing this pair of underwear. And please, that'll make us a more savvy buyer and wearer of underwear in the future. If you're interested in taking a look at these guys, there will be a link down below so that you can check them out on Amazon. Now, of course, keep an eye on the watch, fellas. It's usually time for a fresh pair. We are Underwear to Wear. We'll see you next time. Adidas Athletic Stretch Cotton Trunk.